Entering the Mayo Experience.
Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, presented by DraftKings US Open. Golf, not tennis, golf. Best bets, the gold, the silver, the bronze. We've already done the research show, the DraftKings pick show, and the outright bets and one and done. Check all of those out on Mayo Media Network right now. So what I need you to do in the comment section, give me your best bet. It could be an outright. It could be a first round leader. It could be a to make the cut bet. Whatever it is, what is your favorite wager on the board right now, preferably at DraftKingsSportsbook.com. Smash the like while you're here as well. Cam Stewart is back for the best bet show, as is Rob Pizzola, who ghosted us on the PGA Championship. Thanks, Rob.
I felt really bad about doing that. I honestly felt really bad, but it's good to see you guys again. Well, I'm just trying to pander to the audience here.
David Barnett from the Tour Junkies did a very good job filling in, brought the heat. So, Rob, since you missed last time, we need a gold winner from you. So you kick it off. What's your gold bet?
Yeah. All right. I will kick it off. I honestly don't care what people think or say about this one. I am betting Scotty Scheffler plus 150 top 5 finish. That is
What's wrong with that? That's all the guy does. I'd be surprised if he didn't finish in the top 5.
As would I, Cam, which is why it's my gold pick. People naturally, whenever they see you pick the favorite for anything, they want to crap on you and be like, oh, here we go again, another favorite. I mean, maybe his putter is going to let him down again for the win, but I'm so confident that he's going to be in the mix again. Like he is virtually every week, like Cam said, 4 straight T5s, 16 straight finishes of T12 or better. The guy is just in like the most unreal golf form possible. Best strokes gained off the tee by a mile this year, leads the tour in approach play as well. 7th around the green. Like it's too hard for me to pass up at this price. Like, everything is relative to price, but that just stood off the board to me. Plus 150 top 5. And I get it. Like it's a great field, but the way that he's going right now, I can't go against it. He's obviously played the Walker Cup here as well in 2017. I don't know how much that's going to help, if at all, but it definitely can't hurt either. So, that's just like immediately jumped off the page. Cam, you'll get the reference for the Canadian viewers will get it, but Scotty Scheffler to me is very much like the keg. Like I'm going to go to the keg any night of the week, period. Yes. It might not always be like number one or the best. You might not get
consistently strong. Like I used to be even the dessert guy, the Billy Miner pie is always perfect. It's very hard to get a bad meal there. Like you're right, Rob. It's not like you go to Barbarian Steakhouse or anything like that. But when you go to the keg, you know what you're in for? A solid night, good meal. It's kind of like their slogan, good friends, good times, good whatever. I'm with you.
It's like the floor is like an 8.5 out of 10, maybe an 8 out of 10. But that's Scotty Scheffler's an 8 out of 10. He's still very much competing for T5 every single week because he's that good right now. So that's the gold. I'm rooting on Scheffler this week.
See, the last time he didn't finish inside the top 5 was at the RBC Heritage the week after the Masters, where he came in 10th place, and I think he lost 6 strokes putting at Augusta.
Yep.
Sounds about right. Yeah. I mean, that's basically the way he's losing his strokes right now, man. It's not only is he number 1 in strokes gained off the tee and approach, but he's so far ahead of everyone else. Like the gap between him, 1 and number 2, is like the same as the gap between number 2 and number 20. That's how good he's been this year. And I'm just going to keep riding that form. Obviously, the odds have adjusted on him over the course of the year, but they're still nowhere near where they should be, in my opinion, for him on a regular tournament basis. So kind of every derivative of Scotty Scheffler is something that I like this week.
Looking at tee to green only, Cam, so combine driving, approach, and around the green, and take putting out of the equation. Over the past 24 rounds, Scotty Scheffler is averaging 3.7 strokes gained per round tee to green. Number 2 in that category over the same time frame is Patrick Cantlay at 1.8.
Wow. And that's a guy that you look at. It's one of those things, we can all be heroes and try to go, oh, I'm going to take a guy at 150 to 1 this week. It's, this course is going to eat guys up, as you guys know. It's a par 70 over 7,400 yards. The last 3 holes, aren't they close to 1,500 yards, guys? Like it's something absurd. Like it's a grind. And the thing about the US Open is you need a temperament unlike mine or Terrell Hatton's. Like, you need a guy like Scotty Scheffler who's going to bogey a hole and not care, or Patrick Cantlay who's like watching paint dry. Like, you don't need an emotional type of person. So I'd say not just the statistics that fit the box. Cantlay, Scheffler, all those guys have a great mindset for a U.S. Open. Don't double bogey, don't triple, move on, take your medicine when you make a mistake, guys.
I need to push back on these Cantlay odds because they're kind of ridiculous.
I agree.
Too good or too? What do you think he should be?
The guy has never been within 5 strokes of the lead in a major championship going into the final round in his career. Yet he is the 4th phase, same odds as Rory. And Rory, people get to hate on because he's constantly within 5 strokes, 3 strokes of the lead entering Sunday, and then falters. But at least he's there to have a chance to win. Cantlay's never put himself in position to win a major championship.
This is where stats and like trends lie, right? Like everyone, I've already seen this a bunch this week about a couple players. We start with Cantlay, but Cantlay has like 4 straight top 15s at majors or something like that. It's like, who cares? He's not in contention. I picked him at one of the majors that we did a show on. I can't remember which one specifically.
I think I did too.
But I'm like, I'm done with it. I'm with Pat on this one. I think like until you get over that hump and not even win, just actually compete and be in contention on Sunday at one of these majors. Like, he's the anti-Koepka, right? Like, Koepka's like always going to be there somehow for some reason or another. Cantlay's the guy that comes in great form, decent form all the time. Everyone talks about his iron play, this and that. He gets to a major and he's just nowhere to be found for the duration of the entire tournament.
I'm not betting him, Rob. I actually I look at Cantlay, could he be there? Yes, but you need to do that. There's a lot of other guys I like a hell of a lot more. And, I'm not going to give gold, silver, bronze pick for a guy that I like, but hell, I like Dustin Johnson this week. Like, am I crazy? I saw him at 40-1. I'm like, he's got the length. I know he's been a ghost for a while, but I'm going to tell you, you can't. Pat's right. Cantlay, can he win? Yes. At the number, do you want to bet him? No. There's a million other guys at a better prices that I like more. So no, he's not making my card either. Maybe for a top 10 or 20, but not outright.
It's
5 par 3s, and he stinks at par 3s as well this year. I think he's like 170th on tour in terms of par 3s. Granted, these par 3s are going to play a lot differently because one of them is like 290 yards or whatever.
That's another thing. No offense, U.S. Open, get bent. I like a hard hole, but that's stupid. That's a short par for you. 290 yards for a par 3 is just idiotic. It's fucking ridiculous, in fact.
Yeah, but it's not really 300 yards, though, is the whole thing. It's downwind and it's way downhill.
Pat, it's still like, come on.
Well, we just had a PGA championship where guys were hitting 3-wood off the tee into 245 into the wind. Like, they're not going to be hitting 3-wood into this. They're going to be hitting like a 3-iron. It's like because of the adjustments when you take elevation into consideration, it's not as long as it appears on the scorecard. I think the funkier one is the number 15, the really short par 3 that might play 65 yards.
Yeah, I think they read that they can make one of the tee boxes like 7 in the mid 70s or something like that. Which, yeah, I mean, listen, I kind of like it, honestly. I like. We don't see this a lot. So every now and then when you just get to see shots that you typically are not going to see, I don't mind it, but I definitely wouldn't. Like, downwind or not, I would never want to play a par 3 290. Like that's me. Like, just let's skip to the next hole. Let's pass this group and move on.
So what you're saying is that you're not going to try to qualify for the U.S. Open the next time it's held at LA Country Club?
Well, here's the thing. I got to play Oakdale in its form of the Canadian Open with Jeff. That was miserable. Thank you, Jeff, for inviting me out. I love being out on the course and playing these courses, but when the rough is so long that you literally take a drop and you go to your bag to get a club and then can't find your ball, we got a problem. That's not fun for the amateur golfer anymore. The pros, yes, completely, but I'm just speaking, listen, a lot of people would kill to play like courses that they're playing.
They would. You play.
And of course, Jeff passed over Cam for an invite again this time around. That wasn't my doing, Cam. I told Jeff.
Hey, listen, Jeff's got his own life. I love the guy. He's the heir to the candle money. He's got a life. I get it. You guys got time to go golfing and shit like that. I got other things on the go. But anyway, it's fine. It's fine with me. I'd like to go one day, but right, Pat? What are you going to do? What am I just can't anyway. I need to work money now because I'm getting a hernia operation and I'm going to be out of commission for a while and I don't get money when I don't work. So Sorry, golf's not in the cards right now.
Well,
Betting on it is.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe some golf winners can help you ease you through
That
the
surgery?
times of your hernia surgery.
It's pretty big right now. It's it's getting to be like a Clementine. It was a Titleist, but it's pretty big, and I can't wait to get this thing out of my gut. I can tell you that. Pat, you want me to go for buy gold, or how do you feel about life right now? What do you want to do?
Let's have it. Give us the gold pick.
I think you might like it.
Okay.
I think you might like it. I'm going to go to country categories, and I'm going to go to top Frenchman.
Oh,
Victor Perez, plus 150, top Frenchman. He's got to beat Roman Langasque, Pavon, who I worry about, Barjon, no, and Bastien Amet. I don't know even know who the hell that guy is. Sounds made up. I like Victor Perez. I think he's got the best game out of all these guys, and I don't know why it stuck out to me, but Victor Perez, top Frenchman, plus 150. Oui. I'm in.
You're not in on Long Dong Paul Barjon? Feel like
8-1.
I
Good price, but-
feel like he's your kind of guy.
No, he's not my guy. Victor Perez. Pat, have you seen Victor Perez? Like out of this list, I think he's hedged. Like I watched Langasque or whatever on like the European tour. Pavon's pretty good, but I think Victor Perez is head and shoulders better than these guys. Do you not agree?
Yeah, I do. I find it really weird that Rosner's not in the field because I think he is
That's a good call.
He is the best
I
French
like
player
Rosner.
right now, but I mean, without him in the market, it's going to be tough. Pavon has been top 40 in his last two starts. Perez is playing well, and Romain Langasque has been, he actually has some pretty decent finishes. He was 10th in Germany, 16th in Holland, so he actually has decent form coming in. I did not expect a top Frenchman take coming from you.
No, I just wanted to do something different. Well, like I remember me and Pizzola the last time we played the bronze, silver, gold game, and it was like, oh, okay, let's take a guy at 40-1 to win, like gold pick. No, it's just like I'm not just like I might as well just give you something that I'm gonna bet that has a chance. Hey, there's certain guys that I'm betting on in the tournament, but I thought the country categories is where I'm going to try to do my damage. And let's go Frenchman. I love the price. I think this guy, I love Victor Perez. I think he's a good golfer, and I'll take the plus 150.
Oh, Langasque was second at the Italian Open as well. So hot
I
streak.
was about to point that
now
out.
you got me concerned. All these other French guys are actually in great form. Jeez, I should have maybe thought more about this bet. But anyway, I'm sticking with it.
Vic Perez actually has some experience on, in fields like this
Thank you.
that
He's
are
got
incredibly.
3 U.S. Opens, and he missed the cut in all 3.
That's
Victor
good.
Perez.
That doesn't mean he can't win this bet. They're probably all going to miss the cut.
I know. I'm just, I'm pressing Cam's buttons. I'm trying to get him riled up. But
you're not going to get me riled up right now.
That's
I'm
all
just very friendly, Rob. It's
I
nice
made
to
a
see
keg
you again.
reference in the early going that seemed
You
to have
did.
put you in a good mood.
Buddy,
for the
I used to
entire
work
show.
at the keg when like John Allerud and like Roger Clemens used to come in there like wasted. Hey man, you guys are Billy Miner pie. How's a salad bar? Like the old Blue Jays used to come in there when I worked. I used to work at the Keg Square One, buddy. It was quite a job.
Huh?
Getting scraps at the end of the night was fun. That's other than that, the job sucked pretty hard.
I used to work at Sport Check at Square One.
Yep. There you go.
Maybe we overlapped and we passed by each other in the building and we
I'm
didn't.
not sure. I worked with a guy that had a drug problem. He used to take the whipped cream, like he'd do whippets and stuff. I'm like, I got a great partner here. This guy's he's basically stoned in the walk-in here. He's got problems.
Did you start smoking to get your smoke breaks every like 20 minutes?
Yes, I did, Pat. It's well played. My buddy worked at Diana Sweets too. It was another like loser restaurant in there, and we both smoked just to meet each other on smoke breaks. You're right. Might as well. Everybody else is doing it, right? It's the only way to get a break.
Yeah, when I worked in a restaurant, the only way that you would get a break is if you were going to go smoke.
You're so right.
So yeah, everyone in kitchen
You're so
smokes.
right.
That's the move.
Yep,
My gold
it.
pick. I'm plucking someone from the Live Tour as my gold selection. I've also bet him to win outright, but that is not my best bet. My best bet is going to be Cameron Smith, top 10, plus 240. I don't know if he can drive it well enough to win, but in the off chance that he can, I want to be there for that. I just look how this course is laid out, and it doesn't seem like you're going to have a flat lie anywhere. So I went and dug in, like, what are the courses that have the fewest amount of flat lies? You're always hitting on some sort of weird angle. Augusta National, Deer Run, St. Andrews, and Kapalua. Well, he's won at St. Andrews. He's great at Augusta, and he's won at Kapalua. as well. I don't think he's ever played in the John Deere Classic, so we'll throw that one out. If he can just not bury himself off the tee like he did at the PGA Championship and just mangle the par fives, we know he's probably a top 10 putter in the world, and that's consistently over and over. The short game is immaculate, and the approach game is fantastic, especially off these types of fairways. So they're huge fairways. I mean, they might roll off into the rough, but if you can just keep it in the short grass, I think he's as live as anyone.
I'm with you. I like it a lot. And I know a lot of like this recent form is Live Tour as well, but he's coming in with pretty strong recent form. He hasn't won, but he's been up there. I also really like the angle about the uneven lies and stuff like that, because I was thinking about fading Bryson for the exact same reason. I'm like, this guy's wedges, like all his irons are the same length. I think that's like a problem when you get to these uneven terrains and you got to hit down on the ball or a little bit up in your stance. So I actually kind of like that angle as well. He's a guy that's on my radar this week.
You know what, too, guys? I thought about this Live thing, and I don't know if you agree or disagree, but these guys basically work their way up to the majors. And you've seen Sanjay M's current form, Pat. He's burnt out. The guy lives in a suitcase, for God's sakes. Like, humans are humans. And if you're playing golf week after week after week, and that's why Brooks Koepka's just sitting there, fresh for the major. Like Phil, he's old man Phil on, Zach. You know what I mean? He's got he obviously didn't lose weight naturally, like through exercise. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know what's going to happen later. But all these guys are playing great because they play 3-round tournaments and they don't play as much as these grinders on the PGA Tour. It's actually a benefit to the Live guys, in my opinion.
Brooks played the week before the Masters and then came in second. He played the week before the PGA Championship and then he won. He did not play the Canadian Open, or a week before, because there was no Live event. But do you think that's going to hurt him a little bit? He's not in that like 3-round form coming in?
I don't think so. I to your point, like Cam Smith and all these guys, they're energized. It's a major. They're going to be ready to rock. I think DJ's going to play well this week, guys. Like, I just looked at him and I think like he's the forgotten man. I actually think Dustin Johnson is going to be like in the mix. I think he has a chance to win. And I found him at 40-1. So I think a lot of the Live guys are going to do fine this week.
Yeah, I think Brooks Koepka might suffer if the Florida Panthers lose the Stanley Cup final. I think that's would be worse for him than taking like the extra week off or something. Like, the guy's a diehard Panthers fan. He's flying around.
I thought he booed Eric Ekblad or whatever.
He actually brought a pylon to the game.
Yeah, exactly. That's a real fan. Like, I bring a pylon for Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner. They've
apparently made up. Apparently, Koepka and Ekblad went out for some drinks and some dinner or something and made up. But yeah, he's a huge Panthers fan. He's been traveling around for a lot of the road.
Tell Brooks Koepka Vegas in 5. I'll give a rat's ass if he's a Panther fan.
Well, when would Game 7 be if the Panthers did stage a comeback? Because I think the worst thing that could happen to him if somehow the Panthers came back and won, he might not sleep for 5 days.
That's a great point.
Actually, hold on here. We're on to something.
I like this angle.
Game 5's June 13th. Game 6 would be June.
Game 6 would be the Friday
June 16th.
night.
Yep, you're right. Yeah. And then
Game 7 is Monday.
Would be, they do not on the Sunday, the Monday.
So if the Panthers rally back and they win Game 6, parlay Panthers win with Brooks Koepka to lose whatever matchup he has on Saturday morning.
Yep.
Maybe that's the best bet.
If Koepka is in the mix on Sunday, then I would parlay Koepka with the Panthers on Monday as well. I feel like they're kind of tied together. I know it has neither has anything to do with one another. It's just a vibe that I get. If Koepka's in the mix, he might win it, and the Panthers might win the cup.
What do you do with Koepka this week? Like, do you guys have any interest in betting him outright?
No.
He scummed me at the first major of the year this year when I had an incredible price. I was laughed at for betting Koepka that week. 75
the thing is,
to 1.
Too, guys, It's like he can win, but now you're not getting. I'm seeing Koepka 11-1. Like,
it's different, different price range. I agree. I'm with you, Cam.
He could win, but no thanks.
Yeah, but I feel far more confident in Brooks at 11-1 than Cantlay at 14-1.
And that's fair, because those are both low, like, bad odds guys. And Koepka has a track record, so I have no problem with that with Koepka over Cantlay. I'm just not betting him.
And you could think both are bad. Like, I don't think Cantlay is a good bet at 14-1, but that, like, I really don't want to compare like one or another. I think they're both just not great bets. Mm-hmm. Like, I'd honestly, I know he played Canadian Open last week, but I probably still would rather take a shot with McIlroy at 14-1.
Not me. That guy, I'm not betting him this week. Sorry.
I did see him on the range last week, and he looked rough with the
Dude, that
wedges.
guy's wedge game blows.
Oh yeah,
He fixes it up. Like, I don't care how long you drive the ball. I'm not taking Rory McIlroy. And the funny thing is, it's a Canadian Open. He's like gagging on a Sunday. No, if he wins, he wins. I don't want him.
Yep.
It's worse too because the wedges are a problem for him, and he hits the ball so far. So he tends to hit it into his wedge range far more often than almost anyone on tour.
Mm-hmm. You are correct,
I will
Pat.
say, in the 20 minutes that I watched him on the range at Oakdale, he was only practicing wedges, and he was talking to himself a lot. Let's just put it that way. He hit one, shake his head, hit another one, get some coaching, and he was in a bad spot with his wedges.
I mean, before the round at Memorial, the final round, he was using some sort of like weird tool on the range that I've just never, something around his neck, like he's turning into Tin Cup.
It's
He
insane.
got a couple Instagram ads of like some random golf tools like I do, and I just end up buying them. I use them once. I'm like, I'm not going to ever go out on the range with this thing. Like, I'm going to look like a complete asshat if I wear this thing on the range.
Yeah,
the one that keeps your whole body connected. I'm like,
Well,
I'm not swinging like this.
At least you're not as bad as Aaron Rye. The guy's on the fucking tour and he's using iron covers. Like, that shit's for kids. Like, are you kidding me? 2 gloves is one thing, but iron covers? That's a hack. Like, I'm a chop and I don't have iron covers. That's embarrassing. You got iron covers, man. You can't be on tour. That's weak.
I believe there's some sort of sentimental story behind why he has the iron covers.
Oh, please don't tell me somebody died. I just like, hey, okay. Anyway, guys, iron covers. Yes or no?
No,
The answer is no.
I played with a guy with iron covers this year, and I will say I found it extremely weird.
Thank
I didn't say anything because I'm like,
No, it's just stupid. What, your clubs are banging into each other? Oh,
I mean, they weren't even
metal?
good clubs. That's the thing. Like, I don't want to be that guy. Like, I understand you get like a brand new set, you pay whatever, you pay $400 a club. Sure. Like, okay, if you want to use iron covers
The
there.
thing is, iron covers don't do anything. The clubs are already made of a hard enough alloy that you don't need iron covers. It's just stupid.
I'm with you, Cam.
Thank you.
I'm with you.
You're actually on my side here. I like this. Good. We agree.
Well, here's a column, Cam. This pro uses iron covers, but he has a terrific reason why.
Who?
Well, it's Aaron Rye is the answer.
Oh, it's Aaron Rye. Oh, sorry. The Aaron
But it's
Rye's-
definitely
okay.
some sort of sentimental thing that's going to make you look like a real asshole.
Okay, say it, Pat.
Well, I mean, it even says the origin of the supervillain, because he has the iron covers, begins with his father. He grew up in a working class family, and golf had always been a very expensive game. He started at age 4, and his dad used to pay for the equipment, pay for his memberships and entry fees, and it wasn't money we really had. And to be honest, he'd always buy me the best clubs. So it was him taking care of his clubs. He just kept doing that from a very young age.
I thought that story was going to be better. It was actually fucking weak. I thought it was going to be something like way stronger than that. And that has nothing to do with iron covers or whatever. Like, that actually didn't, it didn't really hit me in the heartstrings the way I wanted.
It was more so him doing it to like make his dad, like, it
Yeah.
was just like paying back his dad, but it wasn't like, I
That's
thought we
got
were
not-
going like death in the family type
Yeah,
of thing,
me
and it was
too,
honoring,
Pizzola.
and then like Cam just
Yeah.
gets completely
That's
destroyed in the comments. That's
I felt
what
like I
want
was
to
going to
see.
get shredded, but I feel better about myself now. Thank you. Next.
Silver picks are up next. Cam, you can lead us off.
Well, guys, we've done this one before, and it was almost like I thought I was taking candy from a baby, and
Oh, no.
I got basically the guy in the van abducted me, and I'm missing in a basement, tied to a wall, hopefully going to escape. John Rahm, top continental Europe, plus 130. It's him versus Hovland again. And I'm going back to this one. I don't know how you guys think about this. I'm taking it. Rahm, top continental Europe. He plays Hovland and a bunch of nobodies.
Hey, my guy Adrian Maronk is not a nobody who was the third favorite in
the
this
Polish
category.
hammer?
Yeah, the Polish giraffe. He's the giraffe. Man.
Yeah.
So big.
He's long and lean, that guy.
he
Anyway,
is.
what do you think about the number, guys? It's not bad.
Well, what if, I mean, I bet Rahm to win. That's my bet. So I bet him at 12 to 1.
Then you must love my top continental Europe play at plus 130.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I'd rather just, I feel like if he's going to win this bet, he's going to win the tournament.
Really?
That's kind of where I was going. Like, I don't hate the bet itself. I just feel like
Well, no. I'm going to put my foot down with you guys. Scheffler's still involved.
yeah.
Koepka's still involved. All these guys are still, no, there's no guarantee that John Rahm is going to win the tournament just because of whatever. I'm just saying he could still be top continental Europe and come in third place, right, guys?
For sure. Yeah,
It could.
That could happen.
Very rarely is Rahm in legitimate contention and he doesn't win. So he's
That's
been
a good point.
He's been in legit contention 7 times this year and he has 4 wins.
Okay. Yep. I'm
And
still
I mean,
betting it.
I would be kind of scared of Hovland too. I mean, Hovland's playing great. I'm not betting him
He
this
is.
week, but he's really hard to go against at this point.
He is, but I'd rather have John Rahm in this type of course at plus 130, and the only guys I think can beat him are Moronk and Hovland, and I think Rahm destroys them both. So give me Rahm.
What about your boy Vic Perez?
I've already got him top Frenchman, Pat. I don't want to.
How would you
overlap.
feel if Vic Perez, though, won and beat John Rahm? Would you be happy that you won Tom Frenchman, or would you be upset that Vic Perez beat John Rahm?
Well, I'm going to win one bet, not the other, unless Roman Legasque or whatever goes bananas, right?
Yeah, I'm just asking how it would make you feel. Like you would be indifferent, or would you be upset? Like,
I
would you be rattled by that?
I'd like to win more bets on the show since me and you just before we're like, gold pick Keith Mitchell,
Yeah.
50 to 1. Like,
68
we're not
to
doing
1.
that.
Let's go.
I feel good about myself. Jason Day, 35. No, I'm not doing that anymore. Anyway, I want to win 2 out of the 3 bets. I'll be happy. Right, Pizzola? Is that fair?
I agree with you. I've altered my strategy as well. There's not enough upside. Like even if you do hit one of those long shot winners, people say, "Oh, thanks for the winner." They'll forget about it 2 days from now, and then like you miss all 3 of them, and people will remind you of that 0-3 for like the next year of your life.
Oh yeah, wait till football season rolls around. Yeah.
No.
My silver pick is a guy that I've been riding pretty hard here for the past few months or so. He's playing great golf, California guy. He doesn't necessarily have the length that you would want for this course, but it really hasn't stopped him at longer courses so far this season. Hits an immaculate long iron. Guy gets it up and down like no one else, and he's been one of the, if not the best putter on the PGA Tour right now. Justin Suh, top 30, plus 350.
I'm going to be honest with you, Pat. I love the pick, but I'm going to tell you something. Remember when Justin Suh was leading? Was it Friday or Saturday at 200 to 1? And he just like absolutely shit the bed on Saturday and Sunday. It really
That was the
hurt.
Players, right? I think.
Whatever it was, it sucked. Like I remember, I think he did so bad he finished outside the top 40. Like it was
different tournament.
Yeah, that was 2 weeks ago at Memorial. He ended up coming T41. I had the same bet for him at the Players, and he came in 6th place.
Yeah, he was up there.
Nice.
Yeah,
I like him a lot. I think he's got great game. I'm a big fan.
He's a USC guy too.
Yeah, he's local. He's played the
is.
course a bunch, and like the putter has been unstoppable. He's gained on the greens, and normally, like we always say, putting doesn't matter. Anyone can putt well, and that's true. But since the American Express, he's gained in 14 of 15 tournaments on the greens. It's not like he's gaining a stroke on the green. It's 5, 3.5, 5.5, 3.4, 4.3, 3.6. He's just rolling it fantastically. Yeah. And nothing will stick out in my mind more that he was top 10 at the PGA Championship for a really long time before Sunday, kind of melted on Sunday, ended up coming T26. But he flopped this shot that I think only Phil or Tiger would have the balls to do and absolutely pulled it off. So a lot of swag. He's got real upside.
I'm a fan. You don't have to sell me on this one.
No, you don't either. This guy, I bet him as much as you do, Pat. I think Justin Suh, and when he wins, we want to be on him. Like, this kid's got all the game in the world. Like he's one of my favorites, actually. So what do you got him? Top 20?
Top 30 plus 350.
Would you play him top 20, top 30, top 40? Do like a 3-banger on all of them, or?
No, I'd probably just play top 30.
Okay, just asking.
Yeah, he does tend to wilt on Sundays a little bit. So
yeah, he's a wilter, but
you need a little bit of wiggle room at the back end.
Yes, you do. That's why I'd play him top 40. Just saying.
Well, and also top 20 because Cam loves the action.
And Cam's going to bet him to win, too.
Maybe I will.
He definitely will.
What is he, like 500
I'm surprised
to 1
probably he's done it live on the show
I'll put
already.
$10 on him, Pat. Miracles have happened. Stupider things have happened, right?
Yeah, he's 300 to 1. He's only 50 points behind your boy, Keith Mitchell.
I'm never betting Keith Mitchell again.
Cam will lay in bed tonight for 5 minutes thinking that he's like, I will have to bet Justin Suh.
After I'm done
like,
this show,
if Pat said it and I didn't bet it and
yes.
he wins, I will not be able to live with myself.
I know I won't, because it's happened before. I remember with Torbjorn Olesen, snakes on a plane, when he whipped it out there. I remember that tournament that I missed, Pat, when we were working at Fantasy Sports. The 1 week I didn't play him, he won at 200 to 1, and I've had nightmares about it ever since. And I'm not going to let it happen again.
So, Rob, that means you're up for the silver selection.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going under the tournament props section. I am taking in the top senior category, Padraig Harrington plus 175.
That was my move the last tournament, and he won. He was top senior. It was amazing.
Honestly, this is more of a...
Hold on. Did he end up beating Phil at the PGA Championship?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He you know what, Pat? He had like a 9-shot lead. Phil caught him, and then Phil gagged in the final round. Like, trust me, I was in orbit because it was like, as Pizzola says, that's his line. I'm like, this guy's going to screw this up, but he went low on Sunday and beat Phil. And Zach Johnson was lingering too. He was really getting in my grill.
See,
this is a 3-person field.
I'd be sweating Stewart Sink in this one. Is who I'd be sweating.
See, like, I mean, you maybe, but like Stewart Sink at one point this year missed 6 straight cuts. Like, I'm not saying that he can't do it.
No, he can do it.
I mean, Stewart Sink just came third in his first ever senior start. He did lose to Patty and Stricker, but he was there in the final run of it. Like, he's 50. Like, he just turned age to be on the senior tour, and he did win twice last year on the PGA Tour.
He's had 12 PGA events this year. Do you want to guess how many times he's cracked the top 60?
0?
No. So I give him more credit than that, but it's 3. 25% of the time that he's cracked. I mean, I'm not saying he can't win, but I'm just looking at prices here. Mickelson, T2 at the Masters, whatever. I mean, since then, tied for 58th at the PGA. He almost came back-to-back last place on the LIV the last couple of weeks. So, and plus you give me the opportunity to root against Phil. That's easy. I'm not a Mickelson guy. Stewart Sink maybe, but like the form really hasn't been there this year. I mean, he hasn't been top 30 in a U.S. Open since 2008. It's been a very long time. Harrington, I'm not going to lie to you guys. All right. Part of this is that there's a special, this is dead serious. I have a special place in my heart for Poddrag Harrington because I discovered his YouTube channel like a month ago and watched a bunch of instructional videos and have been using those on the range.
Oh my God.
And he's like shaved 3 strokes off my game.
I got to tell you, someone else told me the exact same thing yesterday at the golf course.
Oh, no. You got to be kidding me. Really?
Yeah.
I mean, the guy is just really well spoken.
I like him.
He puts,
I like him too.
And part of that, I just want to cheer for him. So I also like the bet, by the way. Like, again, I like the bet. I mean, he's T50 at PGA this year. He finished second at the senior PGA championship. Guy's been like solid in the non-senior starts as well. Like, he finished 10th at the Valero a month ago. So I like it. I think this is mispriced. I think he should be the favorite in this field.
Cam, do you know who
Yes.
the other person using Patty Harrington's tips is?
I'm going to say Cust.
It is Cust.
Is Cuss getting better?
I wish that could have been my gold selection. I win. I knew it was Cust.
Cust did.
Maybe that's why I'm getting served this stuff, Pat. Maybe like Cust started watching it and YouTube knows how interconnected we are, that it started feeding me the same stuff because they know I'm in like this somewhat of,
It's
the
like
algorithm.
Yes. Why do I get Kentucky Fried Chicken like ads and stuff like that? And stuff that I used to go fast food and stuff. Everything's connected, bro. You know that.
It's a lot different than my example. It's very different.
Are you now chipping off of 1 foot like Tim is?
Oh God.
So that drill I have done in the past, not when I'm on the course, by the way.
Tim is doing it on the course.
Like some of these guys, they think that they practice so well. They're like, oh, I play so well when I'm on the range. Why can't I do that on the course? And then they just start doing like all the drills they do on the range on the course, and they shoot like 114, and they're like, oh, I don't know, it was working on the range. You don't play golf like that. Like, you practice that, like, instills.
I don't even warm up. I just go out and hit balls, like whatever. Like, really? You're actually using drills that you get from the internet on the course?
Yeah, I like to play golf, but like I want to get better. Like, that's,
Well, obviously, Patrick Harrington is getting you. You saying you're shaving strokes off your game. Doesn't mean you do them like you do. You work on them and then you go out and apply them at the court. You don't do the videos while you're playing though. Like,
that's insanity.
That's Cust.
It's crazy. Like, chipping off 1 foot is insane.
Like if you did, like,
nuts.
Honestly, Pat, you're telling me you go golf and the guy's on 1 foot chip.
I actually played a full round once with a guy that chipped only with one hand. And he was trying to convince me that like he's better with one hand. I'm like,
is bullshit.
He sucked. He sucked as like I didn't say anything to him for the rest of the round. I don't want to put the guy down. But like, obviously, buddy, like, just chip with 2 hands. This makes no sense. I understand
playing your back foot, like, simple tips. No, one hand is not better than 2 hands. It's
definitely not.
It's just pretty stupid. But anyway.
Hey, don't tell that to Jim Abbott.
Jim Abbott was a wicked pit. This is what baseball. Jim Abbott was awesome. He's
but
pitching and fielding. Like, that's awesome.
that is actually one of the most incredible feats in sports.
I
history.
agree with you, and I love Jim Abbott. He's my guy.
Now, was Jim Abbott, because he gets talked up as being a great defensive pitcher.
He was.
Did he?
Let's check that on Fangraphs.
So I was always curious about this. Is it one of these things where I think he did win a
His
Gold
ERA
Glove
was a little high
as a pitcher, but I thought that like,
the guy?
well, that's the thing. Was he actually a good defensive pitcher, or was it just like, good lord, he has one arm and he can field the ball like fine.
I don't care
So they're
what
giving
his
like extra
metrics are,
credit.
Pat. With one arm, if he's like, it just add more to the positive nature. Like, do you understand where I'm coming from?
No,
Like,
but
come on.
I understand where Pat's coming from. He's saying like, was he actually a Gold Glover?
Well,
or did he get the pity Gold Glove basically?
Shay, settle down here.
Well, that's what he's. That's what
everyone
the.
needs to just shut the fuck up.
Well,
The guy had one arm and a
was he statistically a good fielder?
I
is the
don't know.
question.
He may have been. I don't know. I was
I
always
don't
curious
know
about
either.
that.
I'm very interested in knowing this.
Did Jim Abbott win a Gold Glove?
And defensive metrics aren't great in baseball to begin with, because it was always like sort of an eye test thing when it came to Gold Gloves.
No hitter against Cleveland.
Well,
in
that's-
September 4th, 1993.
We are not trashing Jim Abbott as a person or as a player. We're just wondering if his fielding was overrated because of the fact
How could
that
you prove it? Prove it.
we just look at basic stats
And
of
do
his
it.
fielding numbers.
Do
That's
it
what I'm
and tell
trying.
me.
That's what I'm trying to do, Cam. I'm trying to do that.
I don't
I'm
think
trying to do that. I'm arguing with you about the argument.
he did not win a Gold Glove.
Okay. Well, maybe he should have.
Well, maybe he should. Maybe he had good deep fielding stats.
Maybe he did, because I feel like the Gold Glove awards even today are still not based off metrics. They're just based on gut feel. Like, who the fuck was the guy? Jim Edmonds was someone who I think won a bunch of Gold Gloves because he just had highlight reel diving catches.
Catches.
And it was always my contention that Torrey Hunter was always just such a better outfielder because he was just under the ball.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You didn't have to dive for shit. He was just there.
Well, that was the thing with like Kevin Pillar with the Blue Jays. Everyone thought he was like this great defender because he's making all these diving catches. It's because he always broke the wrong way on the ball. He didn't know if it was over his head or if it was short. He had to make up all this ground and made these catches look way harder than they actually were. I can't get good fielding metrics. They didn't have good fielding metrics at this time.
That's
This is
another
the-
thing.
They don't have good fielding metrics now.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you going to do back in the pet computer like days, like Commodore Amiga? Like Abbott pitched a long time ago.
I'm going to go back and watch every single start of his from 1989 to 1990.
You aren't, but that's okay.
I'm going to do that just for you, Cam, just so that nobody can ever slander Abbott's name again. I'll do that for you.
Jim Abbott stats. I just wish we had some other stuff to go on here.
Bronze picks for the U.S. Open, not for Jim Abbott, although we may have to do our top 10 Jim Abbott, and I will apologize to him for bringing that up. I was just curious about it. Just asking
great
questions.
question.
I'm just asking questions over here. Okay, guys? Just asking questions.
That's true.
That's it.
That's true.
I think it was a fair question, honestly.
Yeah, you get more mad at me.
Cam got very emotional
I got
because he has an
emotional.
attachment to Jim Abbott.
I
for some
do.
reason.
I have his baseball card, and I feel like he did so much
Yeah.
with that's incredible achievements in life. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hates working class Aaron Rye, loves Jim Abbott. My bronze pick to kick it off is a top 20 wager, and I'm stepping in front of the Ander curse on this one because this is one of Cuss' 3 picks, which he stole from me at the same golf course after he told me.
One-legged chippers. God.
He also told me that Nick Taylor had no chance of winning because he'd wilt under
Oh,
the pressure.
I saw your tweet. I'm like, good stuff. Finally, a Canadian comes through. It's so amazing how real it is, Pat. It's nuts.
So he picked this week. He has Wyndham Clark as his winner. He has Mito Pereira in his second place spot, and my guy, I bet Mito at 150 to 1, and I bet Joaquin Neiman at 125 to 1. And I'm also going to bet him plus 260 for top 20. I love how this course sets up for him, firm and fast. We get a bent grass green course in California. Bent is the only putting surface in which Joaquin Neiman actually gains strokes putting on. And the more you ramp up the difficulty of a course, generally speaking, the better his results. So I like him a lot here.
I love that pick. I like both of those guys. So you're hot on chili this week, Neiman and Pereira.
Yeah, unfortunately, I hope it doesn't come out like when I eat chili, because then no one wants to be around me for 2 days.
Wow, wow. I like the picks, Pat.
So
I think one of the. Hey, Mito Pereira almost won a major before, right? Until the absolute crazy decision on 18.
Till Cuss got a hold of him. Said,
Oh, God.
It's over.
Unbelievable.
It was
shocking.
It was not over at that point. So Rob, silver pick for you, or bronze pick for you. Sorry.
So Cam isn't the only guy that can pull up the nationality props and give one out. I'm going to go top Asian player, and I'm going to take Siwoo Kim at plus 400.
I like it.
And I know he missed the cut at the PGA Championship, but he was fourth at the Memorial, second at Byron Nelson. Irons have been great all year. And listen, I mean,
I agree with you.
There's like, everyone's like, oh, you got to hit the ball long here to win and whatever. And maybe you do. But like, if you look at this prop category and you look at like the other players that are at the top of the list, Sung Jae, Tom Kim, Hideki.
Sung Jae has run out of gas too.
Completely.
Guys.
Like all these guys have question marks,
yes.
right? Like every single, like, okay, this was the other guy I was talking about at the top. Everyone's talking about Cantley, those top 15s. Hideki has 6 straight top 30s. This guy is not competing. Like, I don't care that he has 6 straight top 30s. He's not competing right now. I don't know if he's even over that neck injury that missed some time earlier this year. Tom Kim was on a good run for a bit there. His long irons were great. He's back-to-back missed cuts now. I like fading guys that aren't in the best form. Sung Jae's in terrible form. Miscut, T41. I mean, I think Siwoo's very live here at 4-1 for top Asian.
Siwoo, some good California history, too, as a top 5 at Riviera, as a top 5 at Pebble Beach. And if there's someone who's going to be able to control his driver and make sure he hits into the right contours of these fairways to avoid the rough, it's going to be him. Great short game as well. The putter can kind of go either way. It gets either really hot or really cold.
I remember because I was with Lisa staying at the Suncoast in Vegas. Did not Neiman won at Riviera by a lot of strokes? Did he not?
Neiman did. Neiman beat Morikawa that week and Victor Hovland. Also, Siwoo won the Amex, which is also in California, just outside of LA. So yeah, good California history on him. Although this isn't a typical California course when you go and look at it. I mean, I love it. Anything you can get for Siwoo. But I mean, to go back to the Hideki point, I bet on Hideki to win Memorial, and he was the leader through 2.5 rounds, and then
fair enough.
Hole 12,
completely felt. Yeah,
I believe he was +7 on hole 12 throughout the week. He just kept putting it in the water.
He was. I actually remember that pretty clearly as well. I mean, I have a special place in my heart for Hideki. I bet the guy for 1.5 years, and he basically never won anything for me until like finally I got off him, and he actually won a tournament. And he's a great golfer. I don't want to slander him, but there's like not a ton separating these guys right now, and a lot of them are not in great form. And honestly, one of the characteristics of the US Open, no matter where they've played it over the years, is typically speaking, the top of the leaderboard is guys that come in good form. There's something about the way they set up these courses that end up being very similar in a lot of the US Opens, despite the fact that they are very, very different courses. So I think Siwoo is very live, and I didn't want to be like Cam and just take like the top favorite in the French market and the top favorite in the Spanish market and whatever. Like, I wanted to actually give people something that's going to have some payback. I'm a man of the people.
Well, the only player...
No, you are. You're a straight up clown, because everything I've given right now is plus money. It's like, why, you think I'm laying juice?
Well, I mean, I can listen, Cam, I could go to the top of every category as well and give out the favorite that's at plus money. I already did that.
I have a make the cut parlay. I got a lot of things, but we're just here making bets. So we are what we are. Well, your Scheffler top 5 pick at plus 150?
That's what I'm saying. I do that once. I don't do that for every pick that I give out over here.
I can do whatever the hell I want.
Well,
I'm not taking Keith Mitchell to win. It's whatever it is. No, enough.
I'm just saying, at least bronze pick, he could have had some balls or something. And,
I do have balls for my bronze pick. Okay. You want to hear it?
Well, Pat runs the show. I'm not going to step on his toes.
I'll get to it in 1 second. I do want to point out the recent form trend that you're talking about. Over the past 10 years, only 2017 and 2018 did the winner come in with basically no form whatsoever, and it was Brooks both times.
Yep. That's what he does.
I think people often dismiss that. Like, look, Cam's going to berate me for this. I'm an amateur golfer. I'm not a pro by any stretch of the imagination, but I am like a believer in form. And when you're playing well, even if it's over the course of like a couple weeks, you have like a confidence to you, right? Like, I think that there's actually something in there, and a lot of people examine like just the attributes of the course a lot of times.
Why would I not believe that? That's actually something I believe in more than anything, is form, being hot going into something. Of course. Like, I
No,
agree.
it was more so like I thought you were gonna like, oh, Pizzola, you're not a real golfer like these guys are, type of thing.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
what I
not a
thought.
real golfer. I suck. You know, we all blow. Like we're not pro golfers. We're betting on golf. Like
Yeah,
you know,
that's why I
with you.
prefaced. That's why I did the prefaced it for the audience, is what I'm saying. But I think too many times people just get caught up with like the key metrics at the course or certain stats, or they're putting on this surface or whatever. And sometimes I just like riding the hot hand, like guys who are just playing well, even if it's a course that might not suit them. That's my personal preference a lot of times.
So you're saying you're not totally made of oil and machine. You're part human being. That's basically what you're admitting to the public right now. Is you're a cyborg, right?
That's not what I'm admitting at all.
Yes, it is. You're part human, part machine. When everyone thought you were all machine. Get it?
I
Gold
get it.
pick.
RoboCop,
Yeah,
basically.
you're RoboCop, Rob. That's exactly what you are.
The
Woodbridge RoboCop.
the hottest players coming in. I mean, Adam Scott is on this list. I mean, he wins most hot anyway, but he's also in good form coming in. So the past 6 tournaments on the PGA Tour, so no live guys are obviously going to be up here. But Hatton and Scheffler are a clear cut above everyone else in terms of form. Then it's Hovland, Scott, Fleetwood, Rory, Siwoo Kim, Eric Cole, Justin Rose, and
Eric Cole.
Xander Schauffele. You like Eric Cole this week?
Not this week. No, but I had him in the Canadian Open to win at like 70-1. I think you had him too, Pat. I love Eric Cole. If this course was shorter, I'd take him.
I did not have him at 70-1. I had him at the Honda when he lost in a fucking playoff to Chris Kirk, who was behind
after
it.
he hit one off the Nissan Altima there in the water. That was crazy.
Hasn't Fowler had a bunch of like T10s recently as well? I feel like Fowler's been up there a lot.
I know he's playing well.
Yeah,
Fowler's been
he
had
top
a
10.
miscut though.
Yeah,
he missed the cut at the PGA.
He did,
I
but
forgot about that.
But he was T6, T9 in the 2 weeks coming out of that. And he's been like top 20 all year. He's a lot like what Jason Day has been doing. And then Jason Day finally won.
I would love to see Fowler win, honestly. I used to hate Fowler mostly because Jeff used to love Fowler, but I've gotten over that a lot.
I'd love
to
Fowler
see
a lot.
I like Fowler a lot. Yep.
Me too.
One last thing before we get to your bronze pick. We're going to keep delaying this, Cam. Because I mentioned Patrick Cantlay earlier in the show. He's 14-1. Realistically, what's the difference between Cantlay and Tony Finau? Besides 30 points in the betting market right now.
Besides that, Finau hits it longer.
And Finau's won 4 times in the past 12 months.
That's why. Well, I'm not betting Cantlay. He could win, but I'm not betting him.
I know. I just find it funny that like Cantlay gets all this love, and Finau is someone people love to bet on. Maybe the books are just convinced that Finau's never going to win a major.
Maybe.
So
I'm not taking him, but his odds are good.
So to your point, like here's the thing, Pat. Technically speaking, this is the robot part of me talking. Is Cantlay is better statistically at everything over Finau. He's better off the tee, strokes gained, approach, around the green, putting, everything across the board. But I subjectively feel like I have more confidence in Finau to win a tournament, win a major. So like I know what you're getting at, but when they're pricing this stuff, I mean, Cantlay's numbers are solid. He just gets to the majors and he's just not there.
He almost won the Masters, though. Like
he did
a little bit hard on
he
Cantlay.
didn't
almost win the Masters.
Exactly. No.
Yeah, he did.
When?
He was leading up with a couple holes left, and he gagged.
Yeah,
he was there.
He wasn't leading, and he gagged. He lost because he was 9 holes ahead of everyone and piled up birdies on the par 5s. Then when all those guys played the par 5s, they passed him.
Exactly. It's not apples to apples. It was like, statistically speaking, like if you look at the live odds at that time, he wasn't there. It wasn't his to win.
It was like
he was way behind.
It was like Eric Cole this week at the Canadian Open. He got himself into T2 or T1 for a while. It's like, well, everyone else is going to pass him because he's done.
Right. Yes. We don't want to pile on, Cam. We just got to set the record straight.
I just don't have the energy to argue.
You facts on this
show. He
show.
played quite well at that Masters, and he shit the bed when he looked at himself on the leaderboard. That's all really what happened.
Bronze.
Truth, right?
Now it's time for your bronze pick. A big winner. Let's have it.
I don't know. Pizzola's like, oh, yeah, give him plus 130, plus 150. No, I don't care about Ty Hatton's current form. I don't care. I kind of like Justin Rose this week. I want Matthew Fitzpatrick plus 260 top England.
Wow.
I think he can win this tournament. I think Matthew Fitzpatrick has a perfect game for the U.S. Open, and I love him as top Englishman. I know he played okay recently. I'm not going to say he's in the best form, but he's a great golfer. It's hard to bet on the defending champion, but I like this kid, and I think he's going to be there when push comes to shove, a 4-round tournament. I'm just a big fan of his game. Matthew Fitzpatrick.
He got his braces off this week too.
Might affect
That
his
could be,
swing.
that's kind of, I'm not sure if that's a positive.
Weight transfer might change.
Licking and stuff. Cause yeah, it's like, it's kind of, yeah, it's very different when I got my braces off, but I don't care. Plus 260 is good.
I like it. I think he's the best suited of the Englishmen for this. I guess Fleetwood would be second for me, actually. But, Fitz might actually win. We know Tommy's not going to win, even if he's up by 10 on the final hole. Yeah. He's not going to win. He'll find a way to go full
Love Tommy whipping out the iron on 18. It's okay. Like, come on, dude. Like, hit a 3-wood. Like, but anyway, that's fine. That's whatever. It doesn't.
So here's the interesting Fitzpatrick thing. I brought this up to Jeff on Monday because we were talking about betting him, and I do like him as an outright bet. Now that I've bet wrong, I'm not going to get there. But he has gained more than 2 strokes on approach 2 times in the past 12 months. When he won at the U.S. Open and when he won at the Heritage. That's it.
Yep.
I don't care. I think he can. I'm betting him outright in this tournament. I think his odds are good.
Well, I think
the difference between him and Cantley. He's 33-1.
Yeah,
Cantley's 14.
No, I actually make that point too. I think that he's a pretty good bet because when he actually hits his irons well, he fucking wins.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I think he was advocating for Fitzpatrick.
Listen, I'm in space, guys. I've done updates today and shows and stuff. I have no idea where I am right now.
Well, it doesn't matter if you've done updates or shows. You're in space regardless. It doesn't
That's
really.
True.
It doesn't. You didn't have to preface that.
Anyway, I like Matthew Fitzpatrick plus 260.
So do I. I think that I like as a bet, and also like he had the neck injury at the beginning of the year too, right? Like I think he's over that now completely, and yeah, I mean.
Doesn't he have the patience game at the U.S. Open too? Like he seems like a guy that can kind of roll through it. He's just very even keeled and solid. Like all parts of his game.
And many talk about the gutless Euro. And after his shot from the bunker on the 72nd hole at last year's U.S. Open, not so gutless.
I agree, Pat. I think he can win this tournament, so I'll definitely take him top Brit. I think Fleetwood's still going to be damaged from the Canadian Open. Ty Hatton is in great form, but I just don't see him this week. I think he's going to be a popular play, but I'm not betting him. And I just look down. Justin Rose is good, but I think Fitzpatrick's better. I think it's a great price for Matt Fitzpatrick, top Brit.
People have been like ripping his approach game, which I mean, the numbers statistically aren't great this year, but if you actually break it down by distances, like they're going to have to hit a lot of long approach shots. Mm-hmm. And he's actually been one of the better long iron players on tour all year as well. So I think like the way that those approach shots are going to shape up, they suit him a lot better than maybe like the peripheral stats would show.
I should mention that I am giving away $500 to one lucky viewer out there this week. Just wire you some cash. Spend it on whatever you want. If you rate and review the Pat Mayo Experience audio podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify and subscribe to that shit as well, because that's what we really need. Need them downloads. But you do that, leave a 5-star review, and boom, you're in the draw. You can subscribe to the Mayo Media newsletter as well. Free to do down in the description. That gets you 8 ballots in the draw. The reviews are 15 apiece. So that's where the big money is at this week.
It's a very good newsletter. Very thorough.
I see the newsletter provides you with some information that you may not know. And I also am giving away a yearly membership to fantasynational.com, but you need to be a member at Fantasy National first. So fantasynational.com/Mayo to get that 20% off. I bring this up because I'm looking at the simulator that Fantasy National has run. It's going to tell you the good guys are good. No shit. But the 2 worst players who rate out the best in terms of top 20s this week are Sam Stevens and Austin Eckroat, if that does anything for you.
Austin Eckroat's actually in good form, Pat. You've seen his results. He's actually on leaderboards now.
Yeah,
it's not too far-fetched.
Yeah, he's made 5 straight cuts, 30th at Memorial, 16th at Charles Schwab, 2nd. He's from Oklahoma, so the Texas-Oklahoma stuff should be pretty good for him. But 30th and Memorial is no joke. And the guy gains a ton off the tee. He's been gaining with his irons. Sam Stevens is such a weird outlier because he tends to play well at tournaments that are long and horrible at tournaments that are short. And this is obviously a long course. That's my way to tie in that people should buy Fantasy National.
I don't know enough about Sam Stevens, so I'm just like trying to flip through numbers on the fly.
Actually,
here.
Pat's right. Like Sam Stevens, he's kind of sneaky. He's a weird player, actually.
I mean,
I'm surprised, Pat, that I would punch it with his name. That's weird.
Yeah, dude.
He does get like his numbers get better as the clubs get longer as well. So if the long course, 7,400 yard par 70, I could see why he's being spit out there in the models.
Yeah, he's kind of like minor league Luke List because models always love Luke List, and he's a similar game. He also can't putt.
Yeah.
I'm done with Luke List.
Yeah, I'm looking at the short game right now and wondering it's going to have to all really come together with the short game this week.
Hey, Gary Woodland recently won a U.S. Open. Go look at his short game.
I'm going to bet Gary Woodland round 1 leader. I don't know why. He popped up in a few things that I run this
I
week.
used to have that vision too. It's always a bad dream. Just ignore it.
But now I'll be the one laying down in bed
That's
tonight
the thing.
for
Now
5
that
minutes
you
and be
see-
like, fucking
that's the
Cam
thing,
told me
Pizzola.
not to bet this.
Yes,
If it's
but you've said it, and now you do it. That's the whole
true.
problem with
talk
that.
less.
You gotta do
We
it
got to
now.
talk and think less.
I talk too much.
Well,
I agree.
maybe that's how we finish this off. How about we each give one first-round leader gut selection? Rob has Woodland. I'll go with Patrick Rogers. Who do you want, Cam?
It's actually a good pick. Patrick Rogers is the ultimate Thursday, Friday warrior. Give me first round leader.
Scotty Scheffler, plus 100.
Well played. Let me see here. Where's first round leaders? Pat, I can't link. Oh, yeah, first round leader.
I'm surprised
Hold
you
on,
can
I said
navigate out of the nationality props. I thought only your DraftKings had nationality props.
I'm struggling.
Just give me a name. I don't care about the odds. Just give me a name. Who are you feeling?
Adam Scott.
Adam Scott. Very handsome.
He's good looking. No, Neiman's popping out there too. You know what? Screw it. What about Minwoo Lee? Minwoo Lee?
We can't. You can't just name every player on the tour now.
No, you're right.
It's gonna be another one now.
God, the answer is I don't know. Well,
You struggle. You struggle with like one and done.
Gut instinct, Cam. The name that comes to mind.
Sahith Theegala.
There you go.
The Gala. The Gala
I
hardly
like
knew
the other
you.
3 as well.
So you're gonna have 20 first-round leader bets?
I might have 6.
You already have 40. Just spun
Just
it
give
off
me
40.
2 more.
I will take the over 6 at minus 2,000 for the gold pick on first round leader bets from Cam.
Did you guys do any same game parlays? Or sorry, guys, to make the cut parlays?
No, I don't like doing it at the U.S. Open. I actually think it's more profitable to try. The problem is they don't give you all of the players in the field, and this is the hardest cut to make of the year because it's only top 60 in ties with 156 players.
Spieth, Morikawa, DJ, and Fitz to plus 240.
See, I'd rather just bet Cam Smith top 10.
Okay. Hey, no arguments here.
It's the same odds. The plus 240 is actually what the Cam Smith odds are for the top 10.
Like to click. I just like to click things and look at sparkly things. You know the way it works, Pat. I just like more clicking. It's just what I am.
So you're not sweating Morikawa's back injury? Because I'm not.
No, I'm not sweating it at all. I think Morikawa is actually going to play great this week.
Rob, are you sweating the back spasms?
I have nothing. I have no wagers on Morikawa, and I'm very unlikely to have anything. So,
what do you think about him this week, Pat? Do you think top 20?
I mean, if I was going to bet him, I'd bet him to win.
Actually, it's funny you mentioned that. I did.
Oh, what was the number?
I got 4 guys right now. I got Fitz, DJ, Morikawa, and maybe a sprinkle on Theegala. And I'm looking at DJ. Done.
And Morikawa first round leader. You can add that to the mix for Cam as
If I'm
well.
going to bet him to win, I better take him on the first round leader.
Might as
This is
well
my
take him
one
top
bet
American as well, Cam, with the nationality props that you're very familiar with.
Oh, top American. Speed 15 to 1, Morikawa 20 to 1, DJ 22 to 1. Already done.
Rob, who did you bet outright?
Not much so far. I mean, I have, as many of us do, Max Homa outright from earlier this year. I think there's a shot still. I mean, it's kind of coming back around now.
What do you got? I have it at 50 to 1.
I have 66 to 1.
Okay.
Wow, I thought I had something good at 40. Oh,
Yeah.
good odds, guys.
Yeah. But I texted Pat that night, and I'm like, Pat, these numbers have to be wrong, right? And we're like, yeah. He's like, yeah, let's go. He's like, I'm pretty sure he said I bet it already, actually. So yeah, I'm in there. Go Homa.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Homa's a very profitable win for myself. I went Rom. I'll finalize these on Wednesday's show with Tambo and in the newsletter, which you can sub to for free. I got Homa, Cam Smith, and Rom, and then Neiman and Mito from 125. There was a certain site laying some big numbers on the Chileans versus every other site in the world. So I couldn't not bet it because even though they're undercursed, I did like them coming into the week.
I got a weird sense that Spieth's in contention too.
I feel that, but I went with Cam Smith instead.
Fair enough.
I don't want Spieth, man. This is rooting interest talking now more than
No,
monetary
I
interest.
just want to hit. I just want to win money. I don't care who the hell it is, to be honest with you.
It's true. I just won't bet Spieth out of spite, so I'm not going to win money. Is the problem? There's certain guys I just can't get behind.
Cam, does it make me a bad Canadian that I was really rooting for Tommy Fleetwood in that playoff?
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I know. I got a text from a guy who Pizzola knows too. He's like, I can't believe the Canadians are fist pumping Fleetwood. I'd kick him in the nuts. And I'm like, why? They're like, we got money on Fleet. Like I had money on. No, if you had money on Fleetwood,
I did.
It doesn't make you a bad Canadian. It was a great story, but I had money on Taylor, so I'm going to go. You know what? I hope Taylor actually gets this thing done because it was actually hard. Because how many times have we? I've never seen Tommy Fleetwood in the not cheering for. Like, you know what I mean? It was so odd that like it was the Canadian Open because any other tournament, everyone would be cheering for Fleetwood. I like Tommy Fleetwood a lot.
I'm going to bet Ricky Fowler. I'll tell you that. I see some 55s out there right now. Ricky Fowler, and I'm probably going to bet Schauffele as well.
Why? Okay, if we just talked about not betting Cantlay, why are you betting Schauffele?
Yeah, exactly. Like, see, now I got to.
It's a personal thing that sometimes it might be a bad bet, but sometimes you just got to trust your numbers. And honestly, like the 20 to 1s out there, there's even a 30 to 1 out there on Schauffele. Like, how am I not going to take the 30?
30 to 1's actually. I'm looking at that simulator that I was talking
30's
about.
Good.
It does have. I mean, this is where the numbers lie to you. It gives Scotty Scheffler the best chance to win by far, and then it's Xander Schauffele number 2 with his true odds tech by this being 20 to 1.
No.
There you go. Went to San Diego State. He'll play well this week, don't you think?
He plays well every week.
He'll play well and he'll finish 4th.
Yeah, he's great.
Like Pat says.
Great for a 6th place.
Maybe round 1 leader bet. Maybe you can add that one to the
Throw that one on the list.
Well, that would make 6.
What about ours of Woodland and Rogers? You don't want us to win and you not win.
No, actually, I don't mind. No, now
you might as well make it 2 dozen. 12. 12 is nice.
You know what? Now I have to sprinkle on Rogers and Woodland, but very little. A few bucks. That's it.
And Luke List name came up today as well. So let's throw Luke List
I know.
first round
No,
leader.
Luke List will no. I don't care if you guys mention his name in my night. No, I'm not betting Luke List.
What are Luke List first round leader odds?
Probably pretty good. I'd say 80 to 1.
No, I'd say it's like 150 to 1.
Nah, but in this tournament, so they'll knock those guys down 100. I don't think it's going to be much more.
List is
350 to 1.
Sorry,
that's tournament.
125 first round leader.
Okay, that's a pretty good number actually, but I'm not betting.
That's enticing. Cuss loves Kevin Streelman, who he thought Streelman was like 22 years old. He's like 40.
Kevin Streelman's got gray hair. Like this course is going to eat him up. Like, I love Kevin Streelman too, but no.
He doesn't look anything like he's 22 years
Kevin Streelman looks like he's 50. What are you talking? If he was on the senior tour,
Cuss called him
what is this, a Grecian formula with like Steve Stricker, Mike Weir, and Kevin Streelman? Like Streelman looks old, the oldest.
Kevin Streelman was called
the guy's got gray.
A young gun by Tim Anderkest.
This guy, I don't know where he found this guy. I like him, but geez, I'll tell you.
He's too busy chipping on one foot to make any more picks. He was fired on the show on Monday. His takes, he predicted that this is going to be easy and the winning score is going to be like minus 16.
You know what? Now I can't say the same thing because it's obviously not going to happen, but I actually have a feeling it's going to play a lot easier than people think.
So you and Cust are the two that are on that. The U.S. Open outside, the reason that I don't think it's going to do that, because if it starts playing easy, the USGA will rig it to make sure that it plays impossible. They tried to do it at Erin Hills, but Erin Hills' only defense is wind, and the wind never showed up. Like, this course doesn't rely on the wind for it to be difficult. They can just set up the greens and pin positions to be super difficult.
And there could be some crazy ones from what I've seen, like absurdly difficult positions this week. So I don't know, maybe not 16 under, but I could see a double-digit winning score.
I could see it be an 8.
Yeah, I think 8's a good number.
And, well, I mean,
like 8.
if you think it's going to be 16 under, 15 under, something like that, does that rule out Scotty Scheffler because he legitimately can't make that many putts?
He'll have to hole out from off the green, basically, right?
He does do that, though.
He does.
No, Scheffler.
Let's call it out for what it is, too. Nobody's had more breaks. The Masters is an indestructible object, the scoreboard and stuff.
Yes.
Like, people say Jordan Spieth's lucky, which he is. And he won the British Open because he screwed Matt Kuchar. They looked for his ball for friggin' half an hour. But another thing is nobody gets breaks like Scotty Scheffler. Like, I've never seen anything like it.
At some point, though, you got to say, I don't think it's the breaks. I mean, 16 tournaments of T12 or better in a row.
No, for Pizzola, I'm saying he's wicked. I'm just saying though, like how many times I watched this guy going, wow, that's going right OB and it hits double tree and goes right in the middle of the fairway. He just seems to have good luck. He also loves Jesus, right? So he's maybe he's
onto something there.
Yeah, maybe he is.
Maybe he is.
It's actually shocking how little he's won this year for as well as he's played.
Yeah,
it's true.
He probably should have
T5
won 6 times.
That's a good call.
He's won twice. It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Putter's let him down a lot. Putter has really let him down a lot.
Putter's running cold at the moment for old Scotty Scheffler.
Say some prayers tonight to Jesus, as Cam says, get that putting game back on track.
If Kevin Streelman's first round leader, I think we all have to jump through a window.
You might die of old age by that point. Who knows?
Benjamin Button. Holy jeez.
That was
his first round leader, Kevin Streelman? Okay. I almost have to play it.
He picked Wyndham. He had anyone to pick from in the tournament. He picked Wyndham Clark to win.
Oh, I mean, you know what that means, though. We all got to bet Wyndham Clark miscut.
Or maybe this is just like once
maybe it's cuss time.
Once every few years, everything aligns for him, and he's completely right about something. It offsets the other 3 years of being wrong about every prediction. And if this is going to be it,
I don't think it's going to be. It's not this week.
He's going to live off this for like 10 years if this happens.
I will say the times that he has picked someone to win and they have died is more than the times that he's won.
Right.
I mean, he does.
He's more of a killer than a winner.
Tracks right now.
Yes.
They should say actually they need to send Cuss to like Santa Anita to make horses live again instead of die. Like do the opposite effect.
He picked Rory to win the 2018 Players Championship, which he did win. And he has called himself a big game hunter ever since. I don't think he's had anyone inside the top 10 of a tournament at a major.
Big game hunter.
But that's all it takes in the betting industry nowadays. That one win, you can ride off into the sunset forever. Look at Vegas Dave. He's sitting courtside at Lakers games. He's buying a second seat to put his man purse down on because he's just betting futures tickets on every single team in the entire league, and he shows off those wins. It's all it takes in the sports industry nowadays.
Good call, Pizzola.
People get excited.
It was like Gene Simmons in the Kentucky Derby we talked about. It's hard to lose when you bet every horse.
And
there you go.
And listen, I'm not one to talk. Jeff and I are still living off Danny Willett. That was almost 10 years ago.
Know what? I am too, because I rode that Willett with you guys. It was a great day, Pat. Excellent.
I think that's why we still get to live off it, because people rode with us on that one.
Yep.
Cam had first round leader Willett in that tournament as well.
Top 20, top 30, top 40.
Yes.
That'll do it on the Pat Mayo Experience. Follow Cam on Twitter at Cam Stewart Live and check him out on sportsgrid.com. Of course, at Rob Pizzola, thehammer.bet. You guys running any U.S. Open content, or you guys daily baseball with John Legeza? Because that's just printing money right now.
Daily baseball with John Legeza. We're still doing the watch-alongs for Stanley Cup Finals and NBA Finals, so it might be over tonight on the Hammer HQ as well. Football is going to be coming into swing shortly with divisional previews and college football as well. So lots more stuff. I mean, the summer only lasts so long, and then you're just right back into the football grind anyway. So a lot of stuff coming up in the next couple months.
Cam, when I log on to any website and see the NBA Finals matchup, and it has the logos, like the Heat one is obvious. Whenever I see the Denver Nuggets logo, I think it's the Buffalo Sabres logo.
Interesting.
Just on quick glance.
Slug?
Like just kind of look at it, like the circle with it has the buffalo in it, obviously for buffalo, but it's like when it's small on a screen, they kind of look the same.
You know what it is, Pat? They have to go back to the one that looked like, remember, like the minerals, like the Rubik's Cube kind of look. It had like Edward, and it just said Denver. That logo is like the best in the business. Remember their shorts with all the different colors?
So like the
mineral elements?
The Alex English era Denver Nuggets?
Yes. Yeah. You got it, Pontiac. That's the one. Yep.
That's where I want to be at. All right. Rate and review the show. Play in the Listeners League. It's almost full. Smash the like. Give me your best bet down in the comment section. I'll be back on Wednesday with Tambo to finalize everything and maybe even take some of your questions. Who knows? Until then, I'm Pat Mayo, and I'll see you next time.
Pat Mayo Experience! Experience!